ओके लिखा जा रहा है? कोई प्रॉब्लम लेबनीज में अभी तक? दिखाओ 2-4 आंसर्स। वेरी गुड। तो सबने लॉज लिखे चारों? हाँ अच्छा 6 लिख लो चलो। 4 इंपॉर्टेंट है, बाकी भी हम लोग लिख सकते हैं। देखो अब आज आपको है ना सारी पिक्चर क्लियर हो जानी चाहिए। टुडे वी विल एंड Leibniz. So everything should be clear about Leibniz today. बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं, मोनाइडोलॉजी भी तो है ना? So let us start. So system started with Descartes and then Spinoza. Both of them could not solve the problem of mind and body dualism. Question was not visible to me. Abhisha, ma'am not audible. क्या हो रहा है भाई? There was a small surprise test at 3 o'clock. Now it is okay. It's now audible and visible. But we have a black screen. क्या है ये देखो जल्दी से. Yes, now fine. Absolutely. Anybody having any problem? Fine. Okay. So Descartes and Spinoza started with this body-mind dualism, which they could not solve properly. The solution given by Descartes was interactionism, and Spinoza gave the solution as parallelism, but not satisfactory. Therefore came Leibniz. Leibniz thought that Spinoza's unity is too much unity. It is not explaining the diversity of different beings that we have, because you cannot explain everything only on the basis of substance, one substance with only 2 attributes. And further, he was not happy that why 2 attributes? So this means that mind is ruling over the body, but now this interaction, he was not very convinced. Therefore, he said that firstly, the definition of substance needs to be changed. Substance की definition क्या थी Descartes और Spinoza की? Substance is something is independent and in both existence and knowledge. So this was the substance ki definition. He changed it. He said substance is something which is independently active. Not existence, not knowledge, but independently active. He gave the example in his own life. ये एक कार जा रही है ना? उसने कहा कि कार से एक्सीडेंट हुआ एक आदमी का, तो क्या who is responsible? What factor is responsible here in this accident? Car? How many of you think car is the responsible for accident? अरे car. You think the car is the problem in the accident? अरे भाई एक कार थी, है ना? वो चल रही थी और ये एक आदमी था, एक्सीडेंट हो गया, ये मर गया. So what killed him? कार? अरे तुम लोग ऐसे घबरा से क्यों? बताओ तो सही. कार? No? Then? अरे बात सही है. So he said that भाई लोगों ने कहा कि कार की वजह से एक्सीडेंट हुआ. लेकिन कार की वजह से नहीं हुआ, बिकॉज कार तो अगर ऐसे खड़ी कर दी जाए, एक आदमी उसके आगे आके टक्कर मार के ऐसे ऐसे करता रहे, मरेगा क्या? नहीं मरेगा ना। ऐसे खड़े हो जाओ, कार भी खड़ी है, तुम भी खड़ो, क्यों नहीं मरे? आराम से खड़े हो, उसके ऊपर लेट जाओ, नीचे गिर जाओ, बट यू आर स्टिल नॉट dying. Why? What is missing? Force. The impact. The force is missing. So for anything in the world, it's very necessary that force be there. That is why Leibniz, ये example driver वाला उसी ने दिया है ना? Leibniz नहीं. So we can use it. हाँ? कार, ट्री, जो भी है, इम्पैक्ट वाला एग्जाम्पल उसने दिया है. So in substance, so definition of substance is independent activity. Fine. So this means according to Leibniz, the world runs according to the force, and therefore he rejected matter. He said there is no matter, but only force or energy. So this force, according to him, there is only one force, or how many forces? Infinite. How many packets of forces? Infinite metaphysical units. So this means this whole world is only made up of energy and small energy packets. Do these energy packets, are these energy packets separated from each other? No, they are continuous. So from my nose to that door, even if there is nothing else in between, even if it doesn't seem anything else is in between, still this air is what? Monads. There is, everything is continuous according to Leibniz. From this table to me, there is this continuous chain of monads. Everything is connected. Only reality is of monads. Now these monads are infinite, and these infinite monads are arranged in a hierarchy. So there are how many monads? Infinite, and those monads are arranged in a hierarchy. The lowest monads are known as bare monads. Bare monads means consciousness is low, nearly zero, negligible. है ना? Example, rocks, stones, all of these things. When the consciousness is low, their perception will be good or bad? Bad, isn't it? They unclear. They will not. So if you see a CD, how many of you have seen a CD? You have seen a CD, है ना? So if you have you seen if you take a CD and it is scratched, so while you are while you are watching a movie, it stops at a scene and है ना? Maybe after some time a small picture comes again, and then so what is this? Unclear perception. So similarly, these rocks are not able to know anything, even though all the knowledge of the world, all the knowledge of the universe is already contained in that CD. CDs are with everybody. मैं CD बोल रही हूँ, पर समझना क्या है? Knowledge of the world. So CD with complete knowledge of the universe is with each monad, but their clarity will, they have less clarity. These bare monads have less clarity. Therefore, they can know this place less. They can know the place less. Therefore, they can grow less. They don't have the ability to react, in simple terms. So it is like if I put a glass with a lot of sand on my glasses, what will happen? Will I see clearly? No. But does that make that ये classroom नहीं है? Classroom तो है ना? मुझे नहीं दिख रहा. क्यों नहीं दिख रहा? Because of sand on my glasses. Similarly, knowledge तो इन bare monads के पास भी है, but they are not able to see. They don't have that clear perception, obscure vision. That is why these monads appear as, they are not able to react. पत्थर को कुछ भी बोलो, पत्थर अचानक से उछल के मारेगा नहीं. क्यों नहीं मारेगा? उसे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा. जब समझ ही नहीं आ रहा तो reaction भी नहीं आ रहा. First this. Secondly, he gave the concept of materia prima and materia secunda. अब matter कैसे दिख रहा है? There must be something in matter which is making it matter, because he has to explain something. I just cannot say that this is made up of monads, because monads are force. They are immaterial. But if this is immaterial, what am I touching? I must be touching something. This is something hard. So it must be something which I am touching. So how to explain matter? Now he starts giving superb theories. He says that matter has two properties. First, materia prima. हमने कहाँ पढ़ा है materia prima? Aristotle. And there is materia secunda. So according to him, materia prima is the resistance within all monads except God. सब monads के अंदर क्या चीज मिलती है? Materia prima, resistance. So force is also the force of resistance, isn't it? So when I touch it, it is doing what? Applying the opposite force, isn't it? There is this force of resistance when I touch this board. Why my hand is not able to go through? Because equal and opposite force is being applied from there. This means that whatever monad this screen is made up of, it is resisting my force. So any monad which is having this resistance, this passivity, will appear as material. So this means that materia prima will be present. This passivity, this resistance will be present in all monads except God or higher monads maybe. But this materia secunda, what is this thing then? What is materia secunda? अब क्या रह गया? क्या ये monads अलग अलग हैं कि चिपके हुए हैं? All these monads are aggregates. My body must be made up of trillions of monads. But still, are these monads floating? No. They are coming together and sticking together with each other. They are forming an aggregate. This property of monads to come together and form aggregate is known as materia secunda. Aggregatization, becoming aggregate. So this means that monads have two things. First, materia prima, which is the imperfectness that they have. So all monads have this resistance within them. If there is no resistance, they will become God. Immaterial, they will become immaterial and they will become God. So there is this materia prima which appears as resistance or force, which stops things. And this stoppage we feel as material. Then there is this also the second property, materia secunda, which is the property of aggregatization. All these monads can come together and form one body. Like me, I am made up of infinite monads or many monads, all of which have materia prima as well as materia secunda. If materia prima will be less, in which monad in my body will materia prima be less? Soul? और किसी में सब में तो है ही ना, बाकी में किस में कम है? थोड़ी थोड़ी बात समझ में आई? So what are bare monads? Bare monads are those monads which are sleeping monads, or those monads which have low consciousness with low perception and low appetition. Low perception and low appetition. This means they cannot perceive the world like we do. They cannot perceive the world, what is going on. And because they cannot perceive, they cannot react and they cannot grow much. The level of their growth is very small. It is just like a corrupted CD. Information is there, but it is not able to play. And why is it so? Because it has high materia prima and high materia secunda. Simple. Then when we go to the next level, subconscious monads. What are subconscious monads? Vegetables or plants. So plants are subconscious. It's like when you are in deep sleep, somebody wakes you up, तो कहते हैं हाँ सोने दो अभी और वो जो वो वाला स्टेट होता है ना, when you are उस समय पे if I give you a maths problem, will you be able to solve? No. Why? You're not fully awake. You're not able to respond. That is why this vegetable thing. Now vegetables are also feeling. They feel. They have some emotions also, but they are not able to respond because their perception is better than rocks. But still it is very low to react. And उसके ऊपर जाएंगे तो मतलब इसमें अब मटीरिया प्राइमा और मटीरिया सेकेंडा कैसा है, कम है कि ज्यादा है? मटीरिया प्राइमा कम है ना, रेजिस्टेंस पैसिविटी कम है, जैसे जैसे ऊपर जाते जाएंगे मटीरिया प्राइमा कम होता जाएगा और मटीरिया सेकेंडा डिपेंड्स ऑन एग्रीगेट्स, वो तो डिपेंड करेगा. ठीक है, वेजिटेबल्स के ऊपर गए हम. सबकॉन्शियस के बाद क्या आया? एनिमल्स. एनिमल्स कैसे होते हैं? more conscious, more perception. They can perceive the emotions of others also. If you pamper a dog, the dog starts feeling loved, so they understand what is emotions and all other things. But are their perceptions absolutely clear? Can they perceive कि ये आदमी मेरे खिलाफ साजिश कर रहा है? डॉग समझ पाएगा क्या? नहीं. Can dog understand that, you know, in this house there is this problem of plenty? Well, all these economic things, can a dog understand? No. Therefore, even though they have high perception, they are not able to perceive to a vast level. But by this time they have developed instincts. What are instincts? No, these are inborn abilities. So अभी तक सारा ज्ञान जो फ्लॉपी डिस्क है वो सारे मोनाड्स में कब फिक्स हो गई है? At the time of their creation. The innate knowledge. Leibniz is a rationalist. Therefore, all his knowledge is innate. All the knowledge of the universe. कौन कब उठेगा, कब कौन हाथ उठाएगा? What will happen when? That I will pick up this cover of tea and put it down. Plus, I will pick this tea up. And you will all watch in amazement. And you will also watch that, you know, I'm not asking you to have tea. All of this was already planned. Isn't it? It's already planned. And it is not like it was planned when? When the monads were created. That time only. अब तो क्या हो रहा है? सिर्फ action. According to Leibniz, everything has been already decided. It is now each monad is working according to their own plan, and it is appearing that I am working in synchronicity. But according to Leibniz, is anyone doing anything according to the cause and effect? No. Everyone is doing their own plan. So हाथ के मोनाड्स को पता था कि ऐसे उठना है, बस उसको इतना ही पता था, है ना? मतलब पता था उसको, उसने उठा, अपने टाइम पे उठाया, है ना? और मेरे मुंह के मोनाड्स को पता है कि अब चाय पीनी है. अब हाथ के मोनाड्स और चाय के मोनाड, मेरे मुंह के मोनाड्स में कोई कन्वर्सेशन हुई क्या? नहीं. उनको नहीं पता आपस में क्या चल रहा है, लेकिन according to the plan, they are working in perfect harmony. Okay, this is pre-established harmony. Within these harmony, there is another important type of knowledge, that is instinct. Like animals exactly know where to find food. Hai na? So a bird, even though flies here and there, exactly comes back to her nest. How come? She doesn't have GPS. Still she is able to reach her home. In how many trees, between how many trees, how hard it must be. But she can come back. Those migratory birds, from which to which continent they move. Migratory fishes, they cross oceans and oceans and trace back the same path. From where do they get knowledge? Somebody gives them map? No. Any GPS? No. What works for them? Instincts. These are very accurate knowledges. Now, above animal are self-conscious humans. हमारी knowledge इनसे भी ज़्यादा. Now, we also have this consciousness of self. Self मतलब consciousness of I. एक टाइगर को पता है कि वो पानी पी रहा है. मतलब एक टाइगर को पानी दिखता है और वो पानी को पीने लगता है. लेकिन हमें ये पता है कि हम पानी पी रहे हैं. समझ में आया? अगर ये बात समझ में आ रही है तो तुम सेल्फ कॉन्शियसनेस समझ गए हो क्या है. सो इफ अ animal is drinking something, the animal is drinking something, their focus is on drinking something. But when I am drinking this tea, so it means I know that I am drinking a tea. I who is drinking? I am drinking a tea. समझ में आ रहा है? This consciousness of our actions, this consciousness of self. So below us, everybody is doing only actions and they are focused only on actions. They are not focused कौन कर रहा है, क्या कर रहा है. जब self का consciousness आता है, उसको क्या कहते हैं? Self consciousness. This is the greater level of consciousness. This means we have perception not just about the world, but our role in the world. हम क्या कर रहे हैं इस दुनिया में, वो भी एक है. जैसे कभी तुमने सोचा कि ऐसे मतलब सोचो एक बिल्ली बैठ के आराम से सोच रही है, what is my purpose in this world, why did I come here, है ना, who must have made me, there must have been a creator बिल्ली of all. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं क्या बिल्ली को? कभी देखा ऐसे ट्रबल होते हुए? अगर आते होंगे तो कुछ लिखती ना, कुछ तो होता है. So the idea is that we humans are self-conscious. We have this very important property of I am doing it. The role of self in the world. So this is a higher level of consciousness. So we have better perceptions than animals. So if you have a dog, that dog cannot understand geography or maybe economy. And you tell them repo rate of the bank is this, reverse repo rate is this. Tell me what will happen to the new banks that we are. They'll not understand. But we can understand because we have better perception. At the same time, we just don't have better perception. We have also the perception of holding abstract and fictional ideas. Have you seen any fictional movies? Do you remember them? How could you remember them? Like this monadology? Have you seen monad? No. You are just imagining a monad. You are holding this abstract philosophy in your mind. And this capability to hold something abstract is absolutely human. Animals cannot hold anything abstract. You go and tell me Tata is a very good company. Okay, Tata kya? What is Tata वैसे? नहीं. So there is this Tata company, है ना? So does Tata company means Tata employees? management, factories. What is Tata Company? How many of you have read the book Sapiens, Homo Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari? नहीं पढ़ी? कोई बात नहीं. So what is Tata? अरे कुछ होगा ना टाटा यार, तुम लोग समझ रहे हो टाटा कंपनी. हाँ. So is it the paper? No. Employees? Management? Management? If you change the management, it won't remain Tata. Yes. Tata is a fiction. And we believe in that fiction. We associate this fiction with all other things. It's an imagined reality. In essence, there is nothing Tata. Tata क्या है? कुछ भी नहीं. और असलियत में सब कुछ मिलाओ तो वो टाटा है. टाटा के एम्प्लॉइज, टाटा की मैनेजमेंट, टाटा प्रोडक्ट्स, TCS, all of it, this is what? Associated with Tata. But if you try to find what is Tata, can anything tangible come to your mind? No. So this means that very strong power is there in these abstract ideas. And who can hold such abstract ideas? Not any other species, but humans. Because we have self-consciousness, we have knowledge of reason, or we are rational. ठीक है. हमसे ऊपर कौन? बीच में एक लेयर स्पिरिट्स भी मानी है लेबनीज ने, बट वी विल नॉट टॉक मच अबाउट इट, है ना. यू विल स्टार्ट सेइंग कि अंधविश्वास में हमें धकेला जा रहा है. हाँ. Spiritual is like everything is spiritual, but spirit is just a kind of, so we people are conscious, but this materia prima and materia secunda are still there. We are materia secunda. All these monads are aggregate. अब अगर materia secunda ना रहे तो सिर्फ प्राइमा रहे थोड़ा सा, तो क्या बन जाओगे? उन्हें क्या बोलते हैं? है ना, इसलिए नहीं बताना चाह रही तुम लोग, लेकिन छोड़ते नहीं हो. अब कोई तुमसे दुनिया में भूत का एक्सप्लेनेशन मांगे तो दे दोगे? हाँ, तो वो भूत क्या होता है? कुछ नहीं, बस मटेरियल से घंटा नहीं. भूत नहीं है. हाँ. डिपेंड करता है कितना पावरफुल भूत है. अरे तुमने देखी नहीं है वो कौन सी मूवी है पुरानी इंडियन, वो कौन सी है जिसके अंदर एक माँ मर जाती है, फिर उसका जो बच्चा होता है वो भूत बन जाती है माँ, फिर एक बार पहाड़ी से बच्चा गिर रहा होता है तो वो भूत पकड़ लेता है. नहीं देखी है? अरे जितेंद्र कुमार की मूवी है, बड़ी पुरानी. हाँ शायद माँ ही नाम है उसका. हाँ हाँ. अरे तुम लोगों ने तो ये भी नहीं देखी है, मतलब एक ने देखी है. चलो, आई एम रियली हैप्पी. तुमने भी देखी है? याद आ गई. तो तुम लोग मूवीज देखते फिर रिलेट नहीं करते हो क्या? तुम लोग देखते हो. वो कौन सी है वो? मैं बेवफा तू तू लोचा ला, पता नहीं क्या. हाँ नहीं. बट आइडिया समझ में आ गया. Ultimately, it is only the God which has no materia prima and materia secunda and is entirely perfect spiritual entity. Now he creates a problem when he says that only reality is reality of monads. Therefore, the God must also be a. Everything is monad only. Only reality is monad. Therefore, God must also be a monad. At first, he says all these monads are uncreated. But then he says that God creates this monad. So now there is this problem. We have to understand why Leibniz has did all what he did. Why so many controversies? His theory appears to be very good, but then this element of God comes and things starts to go unreasonable. So Russell, there is a philosopher, we will write his criticism. He says that it seems that Leibniz was under pressure after looking at the conditions of earlier philosophers who did not accept God. तो जिसको भी God, जो God accept नहीं करता था, उसको क्या करते थे? मार देते थे. उसने अब मरने से तो अच्छा है, मान लो. एक थ्योरी तो देनी है. क्या होगा, ज्यादा से ज्यादा एक क्लास के अंदर लोग क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे होंगे. है ना, लेकिन जिंदा तो रहेंगे. So that is why he accepts. हाँ, तो यार वो कलयुग तो आ ही रहा है, अब सतयुग थोड़े ना रहा है कि प्रिंसिपल्स के लिए जान दे देंगे उस टाइप का, है ना. तो लेबनीज तो आ गया था तब तक. So Leibniz accepted God, and he had, but the moment you accept God with such a scientific theory like monadology, you cannot fit in both, because if क्या अभी तक God का कोई रोल आया है इसमें? Is there any role except pre-established harmony? But pre-established harmony can also be a normal law like gravity. We don't know how it works, but अभी तक गॉड का कोई बहुत बड़ा रोल नहीं है. तो बेसिकली गॉड को लेकिन उसे रखना पड़ेगा, है ना. तो गॉड के लिए रोल बनाया. फर्स्ट, ही क्रिएट्स ऑल दी मोनाड्स एंड कैन आल्सो डिस्ट्रॉय देम एट हिज विल. if he wants, then he can destroy by a miracle. अब मिरेकल आ गया है. फिर God is monad. अब monads जब सारा सिर्फ only reality is monad, therefore God must also be a monad. But how can a monad create another monad? Can he create? No. Who arranged this monads into hierarchy? No idea. And all of these questions remain unanswered. And even the explanation of God remains unanswered and unsatisfactory. कैसा God है ना? Now this God, so this means that everything is under pre-established harmony. This means God must also be under pre-established harmony, है ना? दूसरों को तो बांधा बांधा खुद भी बंध गए. Now everything is determined. Now अगर ये कप उठना ही था और मुझे चाय पीनी ही थी, तो इसमें एथिकल डिसीजंस कहाँ आएंगे? मैं फेंक भी तो सकती हूँ. समझ में आया? लेकिन ये तो डिटरमिनेड था. So have I made an ethical choice of not throwing it away? तो और किसी को मरना ही होगा तो अब एक आदमी गया, उसने मार दिया किसी को चाकू, और एक कोर्ट में एक्चुअली में हुआ ही. So there was this case in UK, I think, whereby a person went with Leibniz theory. Actually, yes, है ना? He took his details and he said it was determined. Everything was determined. It was determined that I will go to that person and the hand will poke the knife into his stomach and he will be dead. This was determined. It's not anything which I have done. So no punishment should be given. तो judge ने बोलो क्या बोला होगा? So judge also said that it is also predetermined that I will give you punishment. तो समझ में आई बात? कि at what level predetermination is there? So according to Leibniz, all knowledge is innate. All knowledge is innate and nothing, no knowledge by experience. No knowledge by experience at all levels. Because monads are windowless. No knowledge is going inside and nothing is coming outside. When we talk of perception, what kind of perceptions are they? Are they coming from outside? No. These are the perceptions of outside world created from inside by a monad. It is like I have knowledge. So that CD has knowledge. अगर वो जो सीडी मोनाड के अंदर रखे हुए प्लेयर से ही प्ले कर दी जाए तो वो बाहर से आ रहा है क्या? नॉलेज बाहर से आ रही है क्या? नहीं। कहाँ से है? अंदर से ही प्ले हो रही है, लेकिन वो नॉलेज बाहर के वर्ल्ड की प्ले हो रही है. तो इट इज लाइक अ परसेप्शन ऑफ एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड, बट not from outside, but from inside only. So this means that monad knows what is going on. मतलब monad is aware of the outer world. देख लो कितना कॉम्प्लेक्स हाई फाई सिस्टम बनाया उसने, एकदम साई फाई लेवल का है ना. एक दिन इस पे मूवी बननी चाहिए. ठीक है, समझ में आ गया? If no materia secunda, then we become like Lucy. Yes. How many of you have watched movie Lucy? आज तो. How many of you have not watched Lucy? Today go back. Homework. What type of a class is it? I give you movies as homework. But the idea is that Lucy is you must watch it. Okay, fine. मैम शॉर्ट मूवी नहीं, शॉर्ट नहीं है वो तो, नॉर्मल मूवी है. Oh yes, I forgot. Maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. हाँ, I'll show it, I'll show it, I'll show it, don't worry. हाँ, कोई भी दिखा दो बस, है ना. सैटरडे को मूवी देख लें. नहीं, but you people should watch some documentaries, है ना. So like for our BA students, we are doing it. There are some documentaries, small documentaries which are very informational. है ना, you watch it and that kind of a historical thing gets into your mind. और फिर नहीं भूला जाता. फिर आप आराम से MCQ करो, गलत कर ही नहीं सकते, कोशिश करके भी नहीं गलत कर सकते. So there are certain things for which you should utilize the audio visual mode properly, है ना. Do watch some short. Keep a separate time. So your time with phone should not be more than 2 hours at all. How many of you see the screen timing? 5 hours? कितने हैं? 5 hours? 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 वाला कोई नहीं है. 0 वाला. So do keep your screen time should not be more than 2 hours first. ठीक है. And how should you divide your timing? Half an hour for random social media, है ना. 1 hour for something productive and half hour for chatting wetting, है ना. Whatever you do, chat वैट, email तो कहीं करते होंगे. हाँ, chat ही करते होंगे तुम लोग. WhatsApp, Telegram, है ना. So 1 hour when you have to watch something progressive, when you have to watch something related to education. So either you can watch some current affairs or you can watch some documentaries associated with your syllabus. Don't go out of syllabus. अरे आज STEC भी देख लेते हैं, मतलब I can see these, but not you, है ना. Let's see Greek history. Very interesting, but not for you right now. If you have to watch, what will you watch? Indian history, है ना. You will watch post-independent history. Like there is this series Samvidhan. Have you seen this? Yes, ma'am. Monthly homework. पहले फिलोसफी की क्लास है, GS का होमवर्क है वैसे ये. Watch संविधान सीरीज, है ना. पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस आपको पढ़ने की, मतलब पढ़ोगे तो सही लेकिन रिवाइज जैसा ही लगेगा वो. If you watch that संविधान series, the clarity will be immense. What is Hindu Code Bill? What are all the issues? It will become absolutely clear. संविधान है, राज्यसभा टीवी पे आती थी ये सीरीज, डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज. and it's lovely. Okay, चलो ज्यादा नहीं बताऊंगी मैं, अभी यही देख लेना. I am doing my homework of Matrix movies. 2 parts has completed, 2 remain. Okay, yes. Yes, next is Pradhan series. Yes, Avinash. नीचे करना. घर में मत बताना, मैं ये सब होमवर्क देती हूँ. Ma'am, Leibniz criticized Spinoza for making the world static, but through his pre-established harmony, doesn't it seem like he also made the world static? Yes, absolutely perfect criticism. यही लिखना ही है और ये क्वेश्चन भी आ सकता है. Fine? Okay, let us move ahead. All of this. Well, specific example he has not given, but he has explained that consciousness increases in this hierarchy like this. Therefore, the clarity of perception increases. Therefore, the appetition increases. What is appetition? Appetition is the urge to grow. And this urge to grow is more. So animals, do they have urge to grow? I will become the richest person. I will become the prime minister. नहीं नहीं आते ना. तो जो डॉग कह रहा है I will become the richest dog of this universe. डॉग को नहीं मतलब, उसको आपने खाना दे दिया, उसको घूमने को दे दिया, fine. They are happy with the small pleasures of life. Ambitions, all of these things come with this I. ठीक है? So appetition is more, perception is more, and consciousness is more. And this is how we keep rising to the level of. But can anybody become God? So therefore another contradiction. तो किस लिए अर्थ चल रही है ये? क्यों इतना सब भाग रहे हैं? अगर कोई गॉड तो बन नहीं सकता. Fine. So a lot of contradiction, but most of the contradictions are mainly because of his acceptance of this idea of God, which he could not reconcile with his theory, which appeared to be more rationalistic and reasonalistic. ठीक है? चलो. है, सब में है, लेकिन परसेप्शन ही नहीं है तो एपिटेशन कहाँ से होगा? है ना? वेरी वेरी लेस परसेप्शन एंड वेरी लेस very less, minuscule, near to zero. Dimensions. नहीं, दो चीजें इसलिए नहीं बोली क्योंकि he has to also explain the soul. Soul will not have materia secunda, but it will have materia. Okay? God का concept भी आएगा ना. God क्या एक ही मोनाड है, single, while all other things are in aggregates. So if there is this bundle of rock, so it is made up of monads. What kind of monads? Bare monads. Will there be a soul? No. No perception, nothing. No, you know, there is nothing. But if I am standing there or any other human being is standing there, here also there is aggregate, isn't it? Mass. And within our body itself, Leibniz says, this is said by Leibniz, that even in our bodies, so the fingernails are they as conscious as our soul or any other body part? No. So this must be made up of our hair, bare monads. Our skin are more sensitive, like animals. There is this sensitivity in it. But skin cannot think for itself. Therefore, it is not. And at the top is humans. हमारे humans के अंदर तो अब सारी चीजें हैं. मतलब हमारे अंदर सारे levels की चीजें मिलेंगी. तो हमारा जो humans है वो क्या चीज है? वो self conscious और soul हमें वो different बनाता है बाकी levels से. ऐसा नहीं है कि नीचे की चीजें गायब हो गई, है ना? हम वेजिटेबल बने तो बेयर मोनाड खत्म हो गया हमारे उससे. नहीं, बेयर मोनाड भी चल रहा है. कुछ मोनाड्स इवॉल्व होके क्या बन गए? सबकॉन्शियस. Now with subconscious, when they reach to conscious, then also bare plus sub goes on, carries on. When we reach to self-conscious, all the levels are still carried on. So we also have instincts. Like animals have instincts, we also have instincts. But perfect instinct will be found in God. How soul has materia? He has said that if we lose materia prima, then we will become God. Because materia prima is that scratches on the CD. If the CD is perfect, if the knowledge is perfect, then one becomes God. So therefore, materia prima, that is the resistance or passivity that is necessary. And अभी लिखवाऊंगी तो समझ में आ जाएगा. That is very necessary for a thing to remain below God. ठीक है, लिख लें अब. पूरी कहानी समझ में आ गई? कहाँ से शुरू हुआ और कहाँ पे खत्म हुआ? ओके. हाँ जी. More aggregate, more compact, more aggregate, more secondary, more materia secunda, like this. So rock are very strongly compacted. भाई rock hard वैसा सा होता है ना aggregate सा, तो ज्यादा materia secunda है. Vegetable थोड़ा सा और कम, animals थोड़े और flexible, humans थोड़े, और spirits तो air also. It's very less materia secunda. लेकिन अब तुम बोलोगे कि वो स्पिरिट्स भी बन गए, नहीं बताया लाइबनिज ने. हाँ. बहुत कम होगा, बहुत कम होगा. देखो उसने बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स थ्योरी बनाई, लेकिन बड़ी अलग टाइप की है. इजंट इट अल्टरनेट थिंकिंग? अच्छा, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू लाइक्ड लेबनीज? किसी को पसंद आया लेबनीज? है अच्छा है? हाँ, सारे अच्छे लगे. इसलिए अच्छा है. हाँ, और क्या क्या कैलकुलस ने पिटवाया? चलो अच्छा, नोट्स मिल गए क्या आप लोगों को? पार्ट 1 नहीं, पार्ट 1 मत पढ़ना, पढ़ा ही नहीं है ना. क्लास नोट्स पढ़े ना, ठीक है. सो अभी आपको, हाँ ये बांटो ना. अरे अच्छा अच्छा, बांटो बांटो. ऑनलाइन वाले बच्चों को मिल गए? अभी आई थिंक डल गए होंगे एलएमएस पे, एक बार चेक कर लेना बच्चों. देखो कुछ चीजें इसमें लिखी हुई हैं, वो लिखवाऊं क्या मैं तुम्हें? बिल्कुल सेम है. नहीं लिख लोगे खुद ही? पक्का? ये शीट्स खो तो नहीं दोगे? देख लो यार, फिर कहीं बाद में घुमा दो, फिर बोलो कि मैम ने तो बताया ही नहीं था. तो देखो स्ट्रक्चर समझो पहले नोट्स का, थोड़ा सा लिखेंगे उसके बाद हम, ठीक है. बट लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ नोट्स. फर्स्टली द डिटेल्स अबाउट लेबनीज. फाइन. important works. So you can quote these works according to the demand of the question. Then emergence of Leibniz philosophy, like what is the criticism of Descartes and Spinoza, that we have written in our notes also, है ना? Then monads, हो गया, पहुंच गए वहां तक? What are the various characteristics of monads? All the characteristics of monads are written here. Then after that, there is this comparison in the last paragraph before organic and inorganic bodies. Can you see there is this written? Sir Aurobindo says matter is spirit. Can you see this? Modern nuclear science is also stating that atom is not final in matter, but rather a pack of electrical charges, positive and negative. This is comparison. इसमें से science वाला तो समझ में आ गया होगा. So according to the science, even atom is it a final material thing? No. Now, new researches that are coming up in nuclear science, it is saying that maybe at the end, that atom is just a point of force or electrical charges. Because ultimately everything boils down to electrical charges in atom. So maybe science is going where Leibniz has already gone. We don't know. Okay? So these are research which are showing such things. Apart from science, Sri Aurobindo also said these things. We will study Aurobindo, then you will be better able to understand. Then continue forward. What is the difference between organic and inorganic bodies? Organic के अंदर queen monad होगा, inorganic में नहीं होगा. बस simple. Hierarchy, अब देखो जो hierarchy हम लोग यहाँ पे लिख नहीं रहे हैं. Hierarchy में हमने कुछ points लिख लिए है ना. अब बाकी का यहाँ से आपको लिखना है. लिखवा दूं या आप पढ़ लोगे? पढ़ लोगे? ठीक है, तो वहां पे लिखो फिर भी स्टार लगा के. Stages of monads. Stages of monads to be read from printed. इसमें printed notes में नहीं, अपने class notes में लिखो. Stages of monads to be read from printed notes में लिखने लगे. बताओ यार, कभी कभी मुझे ऐसे कैसे to be seen from printed notes. तो अब आओ printed notes खोलो. Printed बच्चों, अगर ऑनलाइन वाले बच्चों के पास नहीं है कोई बात नहीं, मैं लिखती जाती हूँ, आपको वहां से दिखता भी जाएगा. ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सबसे पहले कौन से हैं? अनकॉन्शियस मोनाड्स. वही नीचे बेयर मोनाड्स. Unconscious monads. Here consciousness is not absent but dormant or sleeping. Absent नहीं लिख देना कभी, है ना? It is only sleeping. Example objects of the world, and here the perception levels are lower. इसमें अपने आप से दो तीन पॉइंट और जोड़ सकते हो. Consciousness levels are lower, and because perception is lower, therefore appetition is also lower. ठीक है, and it is comparable to अन्मय कोश of Vedas. तो जब हम Vedas देखेंगे, वैदिक philosophy देखेंगे, then we will see, especially in Shankaracharya's philosophy, there even Vedas talk about these levels. तो ये levels है हमारे unconscious to highest conscious God. So this unconscious level, this material level is being compared with Anmaya Kosh. Above that, there is this subconscious or Pranamya Kosh. प्राण माया कोश. ठीक है, जो कि कैसा हो गया? वेजिटेबल वर्ल्ड. मिल गया? तो वेजिटेबल वर्ल्ड कैसा है? प्रणमाया कोश. देन कॉन्शियस मोनाड्स. कॉन्शियस मोनाड मतलब अवेकनिंग, थोड़े थोड़े जगे हुए, जैसे एनिमल वर्ल्ड. और इसका नाम क्या है? मनोमाया कोश. सेल्फ कॉन्शियस मोनाड्स क्या है? कॉन्शियसनेस ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस इज प्रेजेंट. अब ये देखो, हाँ, विज्ञान माया कोश. ठीक है. एंड लास्ट इज सुप्रीम कॉन्शियस मोनाड, डिवाइन वर्ल्ड और गॉड. इट इज आनंदमय कोश, है ना? So this means that similar thing was also said by Vedas. तो मतलब absolutely बेकार बात तो नहीं कर रहा है, कुछ तो बात का मतलब है. Okay. After that, there is this another hierarchy of. Can you see another? There is this chart. It is saying the same things but in just more English words. है ना? You can look at these words and use them in your answers. You can make any number of diagrams. अब ये एक एग्जाम्पल ही तो है डायग्राम बनाने का, एक अलग तरीके का. You can make such a diagram. You can also make diagrams like this, है ना? With all the characteristics written in these boxes for each level. You can create as you like. ठीक है? हाँ जी. मूवमेंट, हाँ ऑफ कोर्स. नहीं, वो अपने अंदर से ही ग्रो कर रहे हैं. So it is like this. Each monad is looking at the CD, that CD that is implanted in them, and working according to it. And at the same time, they have the inner urge to grow in this hierarchy, to improve oneself, to know more. और जो ये urge है, यही क्या है? उनकी movement का कारण. So each monad wants to move to a higher consciousness level. Like we want to be more. How many of you want to be more wise? All of you. Yeah, how many of you want to be more happier, more perfect? All of you. So this is the basic urge according to Leibniz. We all have the same urges. And so initially when we are animals, according to Leibniz, when we are animals, our urges are more desire based, or our urges are more pleasure and pain based. So we just want to have more pleasure and avoid pain. ये simple basic instincts है animals की. Animals avoid pain and seek pleasure. खाना मिलेगा वो जाएंगे, है ना? उनको जहां आराम मिलेगा, जहां pleasure मिलेगा वो जाएंगे. You tell a lion that after you cross this fire, or after you cross this land of thrones, then you will get a very good award of best lion in the world. Will that lion go? No? जाएगा? कौन से लाइन है तुम्हारे पास? तुमने कौन सी जंगल बुक पढ़ी है जो हमने नहीं पढ़ी? So can you understand that they are just based on their pleasure and pain, but humans can think beyond. Then the cycle will start again. देखो इस बारे में उसने ज्यादा बात करी नहीं, तो इसीलिए हम भी नहीं करेंगे. ठीक है? Okay. Then continue. Criticism. देखो ये जो स्ट्रॉसन का क्रिटिसिज्म है अभी समझ नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि अभी हमने स्ट्रॉसन किया नहीं है. स्ट्रॉसन इज अ फिलोसोफर दैट वी विल लीड and who will solve this body mind dilemma for majorly a long time to come. ठीक है? अब इसके अंदर आप आओ. third criticism of monads. Can you see this? हाँ. So monads are immaterial and unobservable, isn't it? Monads are immaterial. मैटर तो है ही नहीं, और जो चीज मैटर नहीं है वो ऑब्जर्व भी नहीं हो सकती. If something is immaterial and unobservable, can it be verifiable? वेरीफाई कर सकते हो? अब मैंने तुम्हें इतनी सारी कहानी बताई मोनार्च की, तुमने मान भी ली, चलो, लेकिन can you verify whether there are monads or not? You cannot verify. If you say मैम monads दिख तो रही नहीं है, मैं कहूंगी immaterial है. अब आप कहोगे कि मैम immaterial है तो कुछ तो एविडेंस होगा, मैं कहा नहीं, वो इतने छोटे हैं कि अनऑब्जर्वेबल है. So it is like his whole theory is unverifiable. We cannot verify his theory. He has made the theory monads in such a manner that they are unverifiable. We cannot see, touch, taste them. There is no means by which we can know if there are really monads or not. ठीक है, क्रिटिसिज्म है. ओके, दो चार का दिल सा क्यों टूट गया? ऐसा ऐसा नहीं है, इट्स ओके. We cannot say anything. Okay, lack of interaction. So monads are windowless. There is no interaction. And without interaction, this world is working so perfectly. मतलब कितना डिटेल के अंदर भगवान ने प्लानिंग करके डाली है. मैं सोच रहे हो इस टाइम पे मुझे बोलना था और तुम्हें इस टाइम पे सुनना था. मैं नहीं बोल रही हूँ और तुम नहीं सुन रहे हो. मेरे अंदर के मोनाड्स में ये ऐसा महसूस हो रहा है कि मैं बोल रही हूँ, और तुम्हारे अंदर के मोनाड्स से तुम्हें ज्ञान मिल रहा है इंडिपेंडेंटली, क्योंकि इंटरेक्शन तो हो ही नहीं सकता ना मोनाड्स में. If I am one monad and you are other monad, can there be interaction? No. I am windowless, you are windowless. So what is happening is independent. Huh? Yes. Can you see? कितना इंट्रिकेटली बनाया होगा भगवान ने कि हाथ उठाना भी कोडेड है और गिराना भी कोडेड है. मतलब एकदम ही कितनी माइंडलेस एक्टिविटीज भी कोडेड है इसमें. ऐसे ही लोगों ने बनाई है थ्योरी. समझ में आ गया? ठीक है. सर, read this. Leibniz monads lack a clear mechanism for interaction, raising doubts about how they influence each other and the physical world. Okay, next is unity of substance. So now he creates this perfect harmony. He actually criticized Spinoza for not able to explain diversity, है ना? But he himself created such a static world because of pre-established harmony, everything made up of monads, that he himself could not also explain too much of diversity, है ना? उसकी बुराई करके खुद वही कर दिया. उसके बाद there is this यहाँ पे लिख लो, there is this principle known as Occam razor. तो Occam razor क्या कहता है? लिख लो प्रिंटेड नोट्स में. Occam razor, ये ओवरली कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑन्टोलॉजी वाले पॉइंट में. Occam razor, it says we should not multiply the entities unnecessarily. We should not multiply the entities unnecessarily. If a principle is explainable, by existing principle entities, then we must not imagine extra entities. Imagine extra entities or complex entities. तो बेसिकली क्या कह रहे हैं यहाँ पे? इसके ऊपर चार्ज है कि लेबनीज ने ओवरली कॉम्प्लेक्स कर दिया चीजों को, है ना? Things which could be made to understand simply were made overtly complex. फर्स्टली मोनैड्स, चलो मोनैड्स भी मान लिए, फिर मेकिंग देम विंडोलेस, फिर विंडोलेस मान लिया, देन परसेप्शन, फिर रेपिटेशन, एंड सो इट्स लाइक to explain one concept he created another complex concept. To explain that complex concept he again had to explain a more complex concept. So he created so many entities. His theory was explainable without God, but he then created God. If he created God, then why was he to explain make the this monads windowless? उनका interaction भी छोड़ देते, free will भी रह जाता. लेकिन he introduced so many entities unnecessarily, therefore making his theory complex. This is the criticism that Occam principle should be employed in the philosophy and life. Philosophy, why? If something is explainable by two factors, then we must not accept. जैसे ऐसा है, अगर कोई चीज हम x और y को मान के सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, why should we accept z also? Should we? It will unnecessarily complicate the equation. So minimum factors should be accepted. But Leibniz has बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स उसने मल्टीप्लाई कर दिए, इसीलिए उसकी थ्योरी कैसी हो गई? कॉम्प्लेक्स. थोड़ा थोड़ा हाँ, स्पाइनोजा का तो इम्पैक्ट था ही इस पे. लेबनिज मिला था जाके स्पाइनोजा से जब जिंदा था. ओके, लैक ऑफ एम्पिरिकल एविडेंस, ये ऊपर जैसा ही क्रिटिसिज्म है दैट Leibniz relied heavily on abstract reasoning rather than concrete observations. चाहो तो दोनों को एक ही मिला लो, एक ही है क्रिटिसिज्म तो. Then mind body problem. He tried to solve through pre-established harmony, but yet how was mind influencing body and body influencing mind was still a problem. प्रिंसिपल ऑफ आइडेंटिटी ऑफ इनडिसर्नेबल्स तो हमने देख ही लिया था सारा. इसमें थोड़े से एग्जांपल्स और हैं, वो आप देख लेना. ठीक है, इसके बाद आइडेंटिटी ऑफ इनडिसर्नेबल्स के अंदर हमने दो क्रिटिसिज्म्स लिखे हुए हैं. हाँ नहीं, उसने तो समझा दिया लेकिन जो क्रिटिसाइजर्स हैं उनके अकॉर्डिंग नहीं आया प्रॉपर. अकॉर्डिंग टू देम, हाउ इज इन माय बॉडी, माय माइंड इज इन्फ्लुएंसिंग माय बॉडी. देखो, टू अ वेरी लार्ज एक्सटेंट इफ यू एक्सेप्ट लेबनीज, तो उसने सॉल्व कर दिया काफी हद तक. लेकिन मोनैड्स अपने आप में अनप्रूवन है. मोनैड्स के बेसिस पे तो सब कुछ प्रूव किया है, but monads themselves are unproven. Therefore, according to criticizers, this body-mind dualism has not been corrected, not been solved. Okay, then coming to this identity of indiscernibles, there are two criticisms that we have given. We had to find out in very texts here and there some criticism, and both of them are not very valid criticism. बस बुराई करने के लिए बुराई करी है ना, because someone has to criticize Leibniz, therefore these two criticisms have been given. But yes, because their UPSC has started asking identity of indiscernible as an independent question, therefore we must write some or the other independent criticism also. That is why I have searched and given you these two. But again, not a very strong criticism. जितना समझ में आए, जो समझ में आए लिख लेना, ठीक है. Now perception and appetition, वो तो हमने समझ में आई क्या है ना. Okay, fine. God also I will make you write. Now there are these arguments to prove God. Arguments to prove God, again we will do as a philosophy of religion separate chapter. Once we will do it there, this becomes absolutely clear. वो पूरा चैप्टर ही सिर्फ और सिर्फ इसी पे ही है. प्रूफ्स ऑफ गॉड पे, है ना. जब हम वो पढ़ लेंगे उसके बाद हम आके इसे यहाँ पे पढ़ेंगे. प्रॉब्लम ऑफ इविल अगेन इज अ सेपरेट चैप्टर इन फिलोसफी ऑफ रिलीजन. बट फिर भी इसको मैं एक बार थोड़ा सा बता दूंगी आपको, ताकि आप लोगों को मन में शांति रहे. ओके. स्पेस एंड टाइम एंड कॉजालिटी अगेन वी विल डू, अभी कर लेंगे. चलो, लेट अस राइट. नेक्स्ट हेडिंग गॉड. गॉड. एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स प्रिंटेड नोट से देख लीजिएगा, है ना. According to Leibniz, God is the ultimate substance and the creator of universe. God is the ultimate substance and the creator of universe. Next point. According to Leibniz, monads have been created by God and are subject to his will Full stop. If God wants, then God can destroy monads. If God wants, then God can destroy monads as a miracle. Destroy monads as a miracle. As a miracle, chamatkar. Next point. God is perfect and not subject to change or development. God is perfect and not subject to change or development like ordinary minds. Like ordinary minds. So in our minds, there is always something going on. And why something or other is going on? Because we are not perfect. That is why things are going on. मुझे ये करना है, ये बनना है, ये बनना है. But such kind of things doesn't go in the mind of God. Because God is perfect. Okay. God is self-created with perfect knowledge. Next point. God is self-created with perfect knowledge. Next point. God has created universe in such an accurate manner. God has created the universe in such an accurate manner that he does not have to interfere. He does not have to interfere time and again. Does not have to interfere time and again. As each monad proceeds along the path, of, या फिर ऑफ रहने दो, path predetermined for it. Next point. Entire universe is within the infinite mind of God. Entire universe is within the entire universe is within the infinite mind of God. And God's purpose of creating universe and God's purpose of creating universe is exemplified through natural laws. Is exemplified through natural laws. Full stop. Leibniz in his concept of God, Leibniz in his concept of God is trying to synthesize science, comma, religion and teleology. Science, religion and teleology. तीनों को मिक्स करने की कोशिश है ना? साइंस को थ्रू दिस फोर्स, matter is equal to energy and all those things, and ultimate energy is energy of God, and religion also, because religion may God is the creator, God is the ultimate being. And teleology, what is the purpose of our existence or existence of any monad? To reach the highest monad, to achieve that supreme level. So all the three have been merged. उसने साइंस को, रिलीजन को और टीलियोलॉजी को मिक्स कर दिया है. ओके, नेक्स्ट. So this is criticism, because can you understand God as a monad? Will monad be a creator of all the other monads? So he called, because he has got stuck, है ना? At one time he is saying that everything is monad only, there can be no reality except monad. But even after doing this, he still has to accept God. So only option he has is to accept God as monad. But the moment he makes God as monad, God becomes limited, and he will be bound to all the restriction a monad has. So explain hoga hi nahi, hai na? That is why we are criticizing him. Okay, next. Leibniz wanted to reconcile laws of ethics with laws of physics. Wanted to reconcile laws of ethics with laws of physics. And according to him, law of physics, comma, law of ethics, comma, law of religion, etc. are all in harmony. Laws of physics, laws of ethics, and laws of religion are all in harmony and are based on divine reason, or divine purpose. Therefore, according to this, God has pre-established harmony. God has set pre-established harmony in the world, and while doing so, God has created best of all possible worlds. While doing so, God has created best of all possible worlds. Best of all possible worlds. अब बेसिकली भगवान ने बनाया, है ना? God created all the monads and all the universe. Why did he create? क्यों बनाया उन्होंने? हाँ? Unexplained. Divine purpose. क्या है divine purpose? To create the best possible world. So, according to Leibniz की बड़ी ही interesting theory है. Best of all possible worlds. According to Leibniz, how many permutation and combinations could have been made to create a world? Infinite. So this means that there could have been infinite different worlds that a god could have created, isn't it? So rather than humans, maybe there is a world where what? Monkeys are ruling. There is a world where maybe birds are ruling. Birds are much more powerful, and they actually rule the earth. And we people, we humans live hiding in burrows. And the moment we come out, one of the giant chidiya comes and takes us away. समझ में आ रहा है? So isn't it a possibility that such a world could also exist? There can be n number of possibilities of the world. But why is this the world exactly in this shape? So according to Leibniz, that God has this purpose of creating the best possible world. Now, out of so many permutations and combinations, he chose this because in this permutation combination, in this calculation, the good is higher or more than the evil. भाई अच्छाई और बुराई साथ साथ चलेगी, है ना? पाप और पुण्य साथ साथ चलेंगे, right and wrong साथ साथ चलेंगे. So according to Leibniz, this world that God has created is the best option among infinite options, where the right will be more than wrong, good will be more than evil. So something in which the good will always be more. So this is how Leibniz has planned a pre-established harmony. उसने बनाई ही इस तरीके से है कि गुड हमेशा, मतलब भगवान ने कैसे बनाई है, गुड हमेशा ज्यादा रहे. एंड ऐसा वर्ल्ड क्यों चूज किया उन्होंने? क्योंकि यही बेस्ट पॉसिबल वर्ल्ड था. इसके अलावा और कोई बेस्ट पॉसिबल वर्ल्ड था ही नहीं. क्यों? क्योंकि भगवान को फ्री विल भी देना था लोगों को. क्या क्या चाहिए हमें बेस्ट पॉसिबल वर्ल्ड के लिए अकॉर्डिंग टू लेबनिज? पहले तो फ्री विल देना है. व्हाट इज फ्री विल? दैट आई कैन डू समथिंग out of my own decision. Free will. And the moment you give free will to people, what will happen? अब भगवान हो आप लोग, सब भगवान बन जाओ. कभी कभी लगता है अपुनिच्ची, क्या है, अपुनिच्ची भगवान है ना? कौन सी मूवी का डायलॉग है ये? सीक्रेट गेम्स का डायलॉग है? नहीं देखिए? नहीं देखिए? सही है. ओके ma'am, but how we can say this is best possible world as we are in it, so considering it best? Of course yes, but Leibniz ने माना कि ये हमारा, इसको हटाना, कि ये हमारा best possible world है. so उस बस basically उसकी direction समझ लो सोचने की, है ना? how he is thinking. According to Leibniz, that there could have been n number of infinite possibilities of world. So God could have created world where lizards ruled. God could have created where women ruled, where children ruled, where people died at the age of 30. है ना? People lied all the time. है ना, whatever. Can you say, we can imagine how many possibilities? Infinite number of possibilities. है ना? So out of these infinite possibilities, God chose this world, the world which we are living. Why? Because this was the best possible world amongst these options. And when the people asked him, ये क्या best है? इतने लोग मर रहे हैं, इतने लोग दुखी हैं, so many bad things are happening in the world. What kind of best world is it when people are in so much pain? So he said that this is the compulsion of God, because firstly, if you give freedom of will to people, so what will happen? They will act under their will. Of course, some people will do right, some people will still do. और जैसे ही आपने बना दिया wrong, so this is moral evil. This is what? Moral evil. And to counter this moral evil, God has to create. God has to create. नहीं, अरे यार, तुम पाप कर दो तो भगवान क्या देते हैं? सजा देते हैं क्या? Okay. God has created natural evil. है ना, बीमारी हो गई, ये हो गया, है ना, वो भूकंप आ गया, ऐसा ये सब क्या है? नेचुरल इविल है ना. Why somebody gets a illness? Leibniz. क्यों हो गया? भगवान कहते नहीं है, भगवान ने इसके कर्मों की सजा. क्या है ये? Natural evil, है ना. So this is, so man has been given free will, so he creates moral evil. Moral evil मतलब lust, greed, lying, all those जिसे भी हम लोग बुरी चीजें मानते हैं, है ना. और उसके रिस्पॉन्स पे गॉड ने क्या क्रिएट किया? नेचुरल इविल. So he has to do it, but ultimate aim of all these things and all the whatever harmony he has created still remains that good remains more than, good will remain more than bad. Simple terms. तो अल्टीमेट एम क्या है पूरी लेबनीज की फिलॉसफी का? That good will remain more than bad, and this is the best possible world which God has created. गॉड में कैसे ऑपरेशन होंगे? प्रमोट कुछ नहीं कर रहे, उन्होंने तो सिस्टम बना दिया. अब देखो वही अगेन, अब हमने देखते हैं, देखो अब हमने एक और चीज देखते हैं लिखने से पहले, आपके प्रिंटेड नोट्स में आएगा. तो डेकार्ट के अनुसार, अकॉर्डिंग टू डेकार्ट, देयर इज दिस माइंड एंड देयर इज दिस बॉडी. हाउ दीज टू इंटरैक्ट? थ्रू इंटरैक्शनिज्म, है ना. इंटरैक्शनिज्म मीन्स pineal gland, है ना. Okay. Then Spinoza, according to them, is one substance with two attributes, extension and cognition. These two run parallel. Change in one leads to change in another. This is what? Parallelism. Now comes Leibniz. Leibniz से भी पहले एक occasionalist से, है ना. You will read in your printed notes. So according to them, जब जैसे ही माइंड में चेंज होता है, भगवान को पता चल जाता है, और फिर भगवान बॉडी में भी चेंज कर देते हैं. और बॉडी में चेंज होता है तो if there is some change in mind, signal goes to God. Signal means God gets to know, and then God makes changes in body. If there is change in body, again God gets to know and he changes mind. But this is too tiresome, no? How many minds, how many bodies? God का काम ही यही हो गया, है ना. सिग्नल ऑपरेटर बना दिया भगवान को एकदम, कि कितना वो कोऑर्डिनेट करे, है ना. So this is very tiresome. Leibniz thought that rather than 1000 miracles, it's better to have one miracle, isn't it? So he said that he pre-established harmony one time, and after that thing run automatically. Example, a clockmaker has set 20 clocks. Who rings at the same time, or they ring in the sequence. Now, even if you take those clocks to Taiwan, Japan, China, or they will still run at the same time. Why? Because it was set like this. So simply God has set all the knowledge of the universe. What will happen? Past, present, and future. Complete set knowledge has been filled into a CD or disk and has been set into each monad. Innate knowledge. So this means each monad has innate knowledge. ठीक है? Okay? चलो. हाँ जी. Free will. हाँ वही तो criticism में लिखेंगे. Has he left any free will? He said there should be free will. जैसे मैं भी कहती हूँ कि तुम लोगों को पढ़ना चाहिए अच्छे से. समझ रहे हो? अच्छा नहीं, 2-4 बच्चे तो कह रहे हैं नहीं हम तो पढ़ते हैं सच में पढ़ते हैं. है ना? So he wanted to preserve the free will, but the theory he created was absolutely full of determinism. Absolutely full of determinism. जब सब कुछ प्री एस्टैब्लिश्ड है तो फ्री विल कहाँ बचा? नहीं बचा ना? There is no. But he wanted to create space for free will. At the end अभी बताती हूँ. At the end पूरी philosophy वो दे देगा. फिर वो एक निकालेगा. थोड़ा सा free will का space निकालेगा. Like Spinoza made some small space for free will. So that small space Leibniz will also create. I'll tell you, don't worry. We'll keep it at the end. Like desert. Okay. हाँ. Next heading, best of all possible worlds. यहाँ नहीं तो ethics में आएगा. और ethics में नहीं आया तो यहाँ आएगा. कभी ना कभी तो आएगा. According to Leibniz, fact of evil is compatible with the notion of benevolent God. Notion of benevolent God. अरे दुनिया में दुख है पर भगवान भी है, और भगवान कैसा है? दयालु. अच्छा, काइंड गॉड, बेनेवोलेंट और काइंड गॉड. फुल स्टॉप. As Leibniz says, evil is the result of imperfection. Evil is the result of imperfection and finite expression of God. Imperfection and finite expression of God. While moral evil is created by people, due to free will. Full stop. As a punishment, God creates natural evil. As a punishment, God creates natural evil. While the imperfection in each monad is accepted by Leibniz as root of all evil. Imperfection in monads is accepted as root of all evil and called it as metaphysical evil. and called it as metaphysical evil. एक और उसने बताया evil के बारे में, लेबनीज ने. How do you know something is beautiful? दूसरी चीज जो उससे बदसूरत है ना? So this means that the value of beauty is because there are things that are not beautiful, isn't it? The value of light is because there is darkness. Value of goodness is because there is. तुम तभी कहते हैं ना, नहीं यार उससे दोस्ती करेंगे वो अच्छा है, या उसके वहां चलते हैं उसके साथ रहते हैं वो अच्छे से क्या मतलब है? कहीं ना कहीं कुछ बुरा होगा ना, जिसके कंपैरिजन में आपने कंपेयर किया है ना. सो इट इज लाइक दिस कंपैरिजन that is there. So उसने कहा कि गुडनेस की ग्लोरी के लिए थोड़ा सा बैड जरूरी था, इसलिए भगवान ने क्या कहा, कोई बात नहीं थोड़ा बहुत जाने दो. पर थोड़े की जगह बहुत ज्यादा नहीं हो गया? To what extent, है ना? So right, just as dark background. Third, another explanation of evil by Leibniz is that against a dark background of painting, beautiful colors appear more aesthetic. Value of light is more because there is darkness. Similarly, evil enhances the beauty of goodness. That is, we become more conscious. Of goodness. Full stop. At the end, God is not responsible for evil. But finite nature of things. बेटे पन्ना पलट ले, मुझे देख के डर लग रहा है उसे. हाँ, but the finite nature of things are the cause of evil. तो किसकी गलती है अंत में? भगवान की गलती है क्या? Is God responsible for any kind of evil? No. Who is responsible for evil in the society? First, our own finite nature. And due to our own finite nature, what happens? We do moral evil. And then God only punishes us for our moral evil by producing natural evil. But at the end, who is responsible for all the evil in the society? In the world, us. Fine? Okay. Next heading, pre-established harmony. Leibniz has criticized the unity at the cost of variety. Leibniz has criticized the unity at the cost of variety. Has criticized the unity at the cost of variety accepted by Spinoza or propounded by Spinoza. Propounded by Spinoza. Therefore, Leibniz starts with अरे तुम लोग लिख पा रहे हो स्पीड पे? पक्का सब लोग? किसका छूट रहा है? आगे बैठो। पर लिख पा रहे हो, है ना? वेरी गुड, बहुत बढ़िया। अब तुम 80% पेपर आराम से कंप्लीट कर सकते हो अगर यही स्पीड 3 घंटे मेंटेन स्टैमिना के साथ हो जाए। ठीक है, चलो थोड़ा सा बढ़ा दूं? नहीं, अभी नहीं, थोड़ा और प्रैक्टिस के बाद। चलो ठीक, ओके ओके ओके। Therefore, Leibniz starts with diversity and tries to introduce unity. Starts with diversity and tries to introduce unity through pre-established harmony. बार-बार pre-established harmony नहीं लिखने की जरूरत, PEH पर नोट्स में, एग्जाम में कंप्लीट लिखना है, वहां पे PEH लिख के नहीं आना है। Second, but in order to have any unity, among monads, there must be some relation between them. There must be some relation between them. Full stop. But Leibniz has accepted monads to be windowless. But Leibniz has accepted monads to be windowless. Therefore, there can be no interaction. Therefore, there can be no interaction. Further, full stop, further, each monad is independent. Further, each monad is independent and working according to its own inner urge. Working according to its own inner urge. Full stop. Now to explain the working, or harmony between self-contained windowless monads. Now to explain harmony between self-contained windowless monads, Leibniz propounds his theory of pre-established harmony to explain order of world. Order in the world. Order of the world, एक ही बात है। ये वाला पैराग्राफ पढ़ लिया? कोई डाउट तो नहीं है किसी को इस बात में? पढ़ लो। ठीक है, next paragraph, next point. The harmony between monads have been pre-established by God. Harmony between monads has been pre-established by God. At the time of creation. at the time of creation. कब करी थी ये हार्मनी एस्टैब्लिश? क्रिएशन के टाइम पे, at the time of creation. Who has arranged these monads in a hierarchical order? भगवान ने फिर क्या किया, इनको hierarchical order में arrange भी कर दिया. Who has arranged these monads in a hierarchical order? And change in one is preceded and followed by change in change in other monads harmony. Change in other monads harmony. Change in one is preceded and followed by. A के अंदर चेंज हुआ, फिर B के अंदर चेंज हुआ, और फिर C के अंदर चेंज हुआ. ऐसा लग रहा है A से B हुआ, B से C हुआ, लेकिन असलियत में A से B और B से C नहीं हुआ है. पहले A के बीच में चेंज हुआ, फिर नेक्स्ट इंस्टेंट B में चेंज हुआ, और फिर नेक्स्ट इंस्टेंट C में चेंज. Nobody is causing change in another, but everyone is changing in their own. But because there is this harmony, it appears as if A is causing B, but it is not so. ये बात समझ में आ गई? पक्का? Sure, 100%. Okay. Next, to the beholder, या फिर इसी के कंटिन्यूएशन में ही लिख लो. To the beholder, it appears that change in A is causing change in B. To the beholder मतलब, अच्छा मैम, you have increased dictation speed. है? अच्छा, unconsciously. To the beholder मतलब क्या होता है? क्या behold करने के लिए क्या hold करना है? Beauty lies in the eyes of beholder, मतलब देखने वाले की आंखों में सुंदरता होती है. So to the beholder, जो बाहर से देख रहा है उसके लिए. To the beholder, it appears that change in A is causing change in B. Change in A is causing change in B. But there is no interaction in windowless monads. But there is no interaction in windowless monads. Therefore, देखो मैं धीरे बोलती हूँ ना क्योंकि नींद आ जाती है. And therefore, what appears to us as interaction, is really concomitant relation. Is really a concomitant relation. Concomitant. शायद सिंगल एम है या डबल एम है, मेरे हिसाब से शायद सिंगल एम है. सिंगल एम है ना? डबल चेक कर लो यार एक बार, पक्का ना? हाँ, concomitant. Concomitant relation. Example, when we press a button and fan moves. Example, when we press a button and fan moves. Full stop. Here, according to Leibniz, change in button monads is taking place independently. Change in button monads is taking place independently. While change in fan monads is independent. there is no interaction between button and fan monads. There is no interaction between button and fan monads. Example समझ में आ गया? अगर हमने बटन दबाया और पंखा चल गया तो उन दोनों में कोई कनेक्शन है अकॉर्डिंग टू लेबनीज? बटन मोनाड प्रेस हुआ इंडिपेंडेंटली और फैन मोनाड चल गया इंडिपेंडेंटली. No connection between the two. It is only a kind of coding. Like coding, there is this coding in the machines. So if you code that after one machine will come and take the batter, another machine will come, put the batter in the pan, third machine will come, it will go here and bake it and make a cake out of it. So what is happening? All of this is coded. Hai na? Is anything causing other? No. Each is having their own independent coding. Now with the help of machine, you can understand it better. Similarly, according to Leibniz, each action is independently coded by God, which is happening one after the other. And because the harmony is such, it appears as if things are being caused by each other. Okay. Pre-established, next point. In pre-established harmony, there is purpose and teleology. There is purpose and teleology. There is purpose and teleology. Full stop. God has arranged and ordered. God has arranged and ordered the working of all monads according to the grand plan in his mind. According to the grand plan in his mind. According to the grand plan in his mind. और वो grand plan क्या है? To create the best of all possible worlds. लिख लो भाइयों. To create the best of all possible worlds. So अब each monad has his own plan, small, which must coincide with the overall body plan. This means each monad that my body has is having its own independent plan, which must coincide with the organs plan in which they are part, which the organs plan must coincide with the my body plan. My body plan must coincide with the plan of society here in India, and that plan must coincide with the world, and world's plan must coincide with the universe plan. All the plans must coincide with the master plan of God. So plan के अंदर plan. Everything must be planned accordingly, hierarchy wise. समझ में आया? सारे plans एक दूसरे से coincide करने चाहिए, तभी वो efficiently work कर पाएंगे. Okay. Monads, next point. Monads are independent of other monads. Monads are independent of other monads and work according to their own inner urge. Monads are independent of other monads and they work. Monads are independent of other monads and they work according to their own inner urge. According to their own inner urge. Full stop. But this inner plan of each monad But this inner plan of each monad must coincide with the larger plan or master plan of God. Must coincide with the larger plan or master plan of God. Master plan of God, because each monad is trying to realize each monad is trying to realize the master plan of creator. Each monad is trying to realize the master plan of creator, so that harmony is reached. And again, क्या आ जाएगा यहाँ पे? And best of all possible worlds is created. And best of all possible world is created. Illustration. इसी का illustration. Leibniz has explained his pre-established harmony through an example. Leibniz has explained pre-established harmony through example of orchestra. Where different musicians, orchestra होता है ना, वो ऐसे ऐसे करता है एक आदमी. हाँ, जो भी orchestra, where different musicians play their part separately. And are so situated that they do not see or hear each other. And are so situated that they do not see or hear each other. Full stop. But if each of them follow their own notes, नोट्स क्या हो गए हमारे? प्री एस्टैब्लिश्ड हार्मनी. नोट्स के आगे ब्रैकेट में लिख सकते हो प्री एस्टैब्लिश्ड हार्मनी. नोट्स प्री एस्टैब्लिश्ड हार्मनी इन ब्रैकेट. Then the one who is hearing all of them finds harmony. ठंड लग रही है? यहाँ पे हवा नहीं आ रही. ठंड है? उस कोने में तुम्हें कैसे ठंड लग रही है? इस कोने में ठंड? ये कौन सी ऐसे जा रही है हवा? ये कौन सा पैराबॉल बन रहा है? बिकॉज यहाँ पे तो बिल्कुल गर्मी लग रही है. गर्मी लग रही है ना? और वहां पे ठंड है यार. मैं बताऊं, लेट्स डू सम इन्वेंशन. वहां पे ऐसे 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 कपड़ा लगा दो, है ना? तो वो कपड़े से हवा ऐसे इधर की तरफ है. एसी बंद ही करवा दो. इससे अच्छा बिजली भी फूक रहे हो, फिर जैकेट भी पहन रहे हो. हाँ हाँ. बेसमेंट तो बहुत ही सफोकेटिंग. हाँ ठीक है, देखते हैं इसमें कुछ और तरीका होगा. मेरे हिसाब से तो छोटे छोटे बनने चाहिए, बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे लगने चाहिए, है ना? दैट्स बेटर. किसको? तुम्हें ज्यादा हीट आ रही है यार, मुझे कभी नहीं लगी।
हमारे सर कहते हैं बार-बार ये सुबह का सही डाल के तुम लोग को कर जाए इससे क्या।
कौन से सर बोलते हैं? कौन से सर है? हाँ, मुझे लगा साइंस वाले ने तो नहीं बोल दिया। हाँ, वो नहीं बोलेंगे। ओके, okay, fine. Ma'am, today your speed is fluctuating slow and high and high. अरे, slow and high and high. कोई बात नहीं. We are at our ease. क्या है नीचे करना? Ma'am, because you are hardworking, students are sitting. क्यों? I got it. हाँ, ठीक बात है, बिल्कुल सही बात है। नहीं, पर बच्चे भी लिख रहे हैं यार, ऐसी बात नहीं है। ओके, फाइन। So where were we? हाँ. So to the one who is hearing all of them finds harmony, that is wonderful and perfect. That is wonderful and perfect. And it appears that musicians are connected. And it appears that musicians are connected or having interaction. Musicians are connected or having interaction. But in reality, there is no interaction. But in reality, there is no interaction. But in reality, there is no interaction. समझ में आ गया ये तो? Not a difficult thing. Any doubt till now? पक्का? Sure? चलो एक नोट और लिख लो, फिर बंद करेंगे. We will continue tomorrow. मेरी मेरी भावनाओं को जैसे ऐसे महसूस होती, दो चार बच्चों ने तो कॉपियां ऐसे उठा के बंद करने के मोड में ले आए. नोट फर्स्ट, doctrine of pre-established harmony is the doctrine of pre-established harmony is the extension of parallelism of Spinoza. Parallelism of Spinoza. तो स्पाइनोजा ने उनको गॉड डिपेंडेंट कर दिया था, इसने उसको प्लान डिपेंडेंट कर दिया, मेड बाय गॉड. सिंपल. Extension of parallelism of Spinoza, comma, while parallelism of Spinoza explains the relation between, while parallelism of Spinoza explains the relation between concomitant and corresponding relation between mind and body, and corresponding relation between mind and body. But Leibniz moves further. And makes these concomitant actions in all monads on the basis of master plan. In all monads on the basis of master plan of God. In all monads on the basis of master plan of God. Second point within note, Leibniz has tried to reconcile mind and matter, comma, mechanism, ब्रैकेट में लिख लो hierarchy, perception and appetition. Hierarchy, comma, perception and appetition. mechanism and teleology. And teleology. Teleology क्या है? The best of all possible worlds. Comma, freedom and necessity. Freedom and necessity with the help of pre-established harmony. देखो अब इस लाइन को हम लिख सकते हैं कि नहीं लिख सकते कंक्लूजन में? With the help of pre-established harmony. कितनी सारी चीजें रिकंसाइल कर दी उसने इससे. ठीक है? Okay, tomorrow we will finish this mind-body relation, and tomorrow we will finish Leibniz and start with empiricism or Locke. Huh? Not exactly, but yes, a little bit. So, I'll tell you, tomorrow we will discuss. It is based on the reason and rationality. So, if you are working on the basis of desire, then it's not free will. But again, it's like the same concept of Spinoza. Yes, 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 absolutely. So free will is nothing. Free will is just working according to your own rational being. अगर आप rationality से सोच रहे हो, दिमाग से सोच पा रहे हो, तो आप सही जा रहे हो, है ना? We will do it tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.